gentlemen, Jessica, when we're multiplying, what do we do with the coefficients? Yeah, they're the big numbers, the coefficients. Multiply them. Very good. And what does that give us, Jessica? 15. Perfect. And what do we do, Jessica, with the exponents? Good. So that becomes x to the perfect, y to the, and perfect. Thank you very much, Jessica. Micaiah, on number 2, when we raise a power, or when we raise a coefficient to a power, what do we get? Like on number 2, the first thing we have to do before we multiply 3 and 4 is what? We have to square 3x to the 5th, right? And 3 squared is? And then that's x to the? Good. And then we're still multiplying this by, what do we have to do next here, Isabel? With this 4x to 6, we're raising it to the 3rd power. So how do we raise 4 to the 3rd power? Uh-huh. $64, very good. And then what about the 6 and the 3? Right. X to the 15th. Good. Now, 18, sorry. All right, 18. And then what do we do now, Isabel? Okay, so what are we multiplying? Good, and that gives us? Good, and what do we do with those exponents? Okay, so that's x to the, perfect, very good. Any questions for Isabel? All right. James. James, could you do number 3 for us? Okay, good. I'm not going to make you do it. I just wanted to make sure everybody could do number 3. Can anybody have any questions about number 3? I want y'all to have some problems to work on your own and not just listen to me do all the problems. Do you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Nicholas. Right, that's it. Hey, anything raised to the 0 power is? 1. Very good. And if we have a negative exponent, what happens? Well, if it's in the numerator, you put it in the denominator. But if it's negative exponent in the bottom, you got to move it to the top, right? Let's look at an example like that. I was going to go for one like number 8. Yes. Okay, 8 gets a little crazy, guys. So what do we do with the 6 and the 9? Good, so it's negative 2 over 3. Don't move the negative 6 down because the 6 can be negative. The coefficients can be negative. It's the exponents that when those are negative, that's when we start moving things, okay? Do you understand? All right, on what do I do with the A's? Excuse me. Right, so I'm just going to rewrite this whole thing. So we've got negative 2 here, we've got a 3 here, a to the 6th up top and a to the 4th on the bottom. I'm crossing them out as I go so I don't double use something. What about the b to the 3rd? Can he stay here? And what about the b to the 2nd? And once he moves, he becomes positive. The reason he's negative is because he's not where he's supposed to belong. But once you moved him, he's happy and positive. So, yeah. Does that make sense? Now, that c to the 12th, is he happy? No. But how do we make him happy? Bring him down to the bottom. Good. Any questions here? Right. When you multiply variables, you add their exponents. So, oops, that's ugly too. Can we deal with the A's first? What do we do with the A's? What's greater, 6 or 4? 6. That tells us that A goes in the numerator, okay? If the 6 were on the bottom, then A would go in the denominator. Does that make sense? So then we subtract, that's A squared. Now what do we do with these B's? Add them, and that's B to the perfect. And in the bottom, in the denominator, we have C to the, are we done? Good. Any questions here? Does this ring a bell to you guys? Who just said wait? Oh, thought I heard someone say wait. Marcus, do you have a question? Any other questions here? Number 7? Sure thing. Why did I subtract the 4 from the 6? You see? Okay. All right, you said number 7. On number 7, what's greater, or for the x's, is it 3 or 1? 3. So you circle the 3, and that tells us that there is an x in the numerator. And it's x squared. What's greater, 10 or 2? Y to the 8th in the bottom, and z to the 13th in the top. Any questions? Yes, sir. Sure. Will you please return that pen? Thank you. All right, are there any questions on number 7? What about 8 or 9? Can we do those on our own? Okay, cool. Let's go to, excuse me, number 11. All right, we're distributing 6b. So what's 6b times 5b? 30b to the 3rd. And then what is 6b plus 3, or times 3? Well, that's 18b, right? Any questions? We're just distributing. Right, well, we can't combine any like terms. This is the end of it, okay? We can do one more, so let's multiply this. That gives us 6m to the 5th plus Am I done with this problem? Why not? I can combine like terms. Very good. You mean 2? Any questions? I hear you. All right, is this pretty easy stuff? The faster we get through this, the more time you'll have to spend on your homework. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. All right, let's look at 15. Now, excuse me. On 15, what are we going to do? We use this special property, the distributive property. So we're going to multiply, and that's 8b squared. 4b times 1 is minus 6b minus 3. Okay, now how many of you just kind of want to factor this? Don't do it. I'll have kids who will distribute, multiply it all the way through, and then they'll factor it back out to where they get the original problem. If it says multiply, multiply, and if it says factor, factor, but don't do both, okay? If you end up with like the same as the question, like as the initial problem, then you probably did too much. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll have kids that'll now make a table and say, all right, what 2 numbers multiply to give us negative 24 and add to give us negative 2? And they'll factor it all the way back out, which is just undoing what they just did. On number 16, right? This is the most common mistake students make in math ever, okay? This is not okay. This is not correct. It's not okay. All right? Anything squared is itself times itself. So I can to redo this. I need y'all to know that was wrong, right? You know that? Okay. This is 5x minus 3 times 5x minus 3. All right, so now we have to use the distributive property. We get 25x squared minus 15x. Ooh, I don't know what number I was trying to write there, but that was not 15. Minus 15x minus 15x plus 9. Okay, now some of you guys look at that and you see negative 15x, and you just want to throw up your hands and say, oh, we'll just cancel them out. But you can't, because negative 15x minus 15x isn't 0. What is it? Negative 30x. Very good. So our final answer is 25x squared minus 30x plus 9. Any questions here? Questions? Anybody? Okay. All right. Other problems here you guys want to see? Do you want to see one where it's a binomial and a trinomial? Like number 18? All right, you ready? So that's 2x cubed. If you have a study guide, Larkin, please turn it in for the quiz you just took. Are you guys with me? All right, so now let's combine our like terms. We have 2x cubed plus 7x squared minus 24x. That's not true. Minus 19x. Guys, check me for errors. Minus 20. Yes. Oh. Is this what you guys got? Ibrahim, is that what you got when you did this problem? Or had you not done that one? Did you get the same answer as I did? Nick, get off your phone, please. Nick, I need you taking notes, buddy. You're on the wrong page. Oh, are we still on the front page? Oh, sorry. All right, any questions here? Is that what you got, Ibrahim? Did you see what you did? Okay. All right, any other questions in this section? All right, this is y'all's favorite part. This is a little bit long division. Yeehaw. You like that? See, they're making fun of me. You're always such a supporter. All right, so in order for us to determine what we need to multiply 5x by to get 15x squared, we can just like kind of go backwards and divide 15x squared by 5x. What does that give us? 3x. We're going to line that 3x up here. Now what we do with that 3x is we multiply it times our divisor here. We're going to multiply this guy here, and that's 3x times 5x minus 2. Now we're going to use the distributive property. Thank you. That's 3x times 5x, which is 15x squared, and 3x times negative 2, and that's going to give us negative 6x. And then we're going to change these signs, and these cancel, and that gives us 40x minus 16. And guys, we're going to repeat the same process. So where we take that leading term and we divide it by the first term of our divisor, whew, and that's 40 divided by 5x, 40x divided by 5x. And what does that give us? 8. So this is plus 8. And now we're just going to multiply that 8 by our divisor, which is 5x minus 2. Do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we get 40x minus 16. I understand. We subtract this. We change these signs here, and then we add these. These cancel, and then we just get 0. So our answer is 3x plus 8. Can I do number 22? 21. You can watch this video in Schoology later. Okay. Good talk. Sure thing. All right, let's look at number 22. Okay, so to determine the first term of our quotient, what we do is we take the leading term in our dividend, 8x squared, and we divide it by the leading term in our divisor, which is 4x, and that gives us what? 2x? Is that what y'all got? I'm going to line that up with the x's here, and then I'm going to take this 2x and I'm multiplying it by the whole divisor. That's 2x times 4x minus 1. Larkin, are you even paying attention? I was just asking. You wanted me to do this problem. I didn't know if you were. Okay. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I apologize for interrupting your hard work. We change this sign and we change this sign. These cancel, and that leaves us with 8x plus 3, right? And then we divide 8x by 4x, and that gives us 2. Correct? Anyone?
Yes.
So this is plus 2. We multiply 2 times 4x minus 1, and that gives us 8x minus 2. And then we change these signs, and we get a remainder of 5. So our answer is actually 2x plus 2 plus 5 divided by our divisor, which is 4x minus 1. It's not the prettiest answer, but it is our answer. Any questions?
4x minus 1 or 4x plus 1?
Oh, I think I did that whole problem wrong because I said minus. What I was thinking when I was doing this problem is I was thinking, man, I don't remember that being the answer when I worked this out with fourth period. Well, let's just say if it were minus 1, that would be the answer. But now you get to redo this problem on your own because it's like a different problem. Yes, it's not going to help you just to watch me do problems. You're not going to pass your test, your semester exam, which is 20% of your final grade if you're not trying some of these on your own. So I think it's an excellent idea for you guys to try to work this out on your own with the right equation. This should be a plus 1, okay?
I have a problem.
Yeah.
Do you have like a hang on the end, like a cliffhanger, like a remainder?
Okay, if you have a remainder, what?
On the end, where would you insert that?
Did you see how I did that here? The cliffhanger here was 5.
Yeah.
So you just put that over your divisor, which is 4x minus 1. Or in your case, 4x plus 1. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's continue.
I have a question.
Yes, darling.
Not gonna do that one again?
No, I'm going to let you guys do that one on your own. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
What's wrong? You okay? Yeah.
Okay, so right here, this is my remainder. So how would
Oh, I forgot I'm on video. Hold on 1 second. We just did that problem together.
Oh, I had already did it.
Hold on. I don't think that... Oh, you changed... That's 34. You wrote 32.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So we're supposed to put like 5 and 4 plus 1.
Yes. Good. Okay. All right. Let's continue, guys.
How put this in the calculator?
Just put this in your calculator first. Just what's under there. All right. Let's go to grouping. Do y'all remember how to factor by grouping? All right, Marcus, what's the GCF, or how do I factor number 27? So what's the GCF between 3A and AB, Marcus? 27. Okay, so
Then divided by 6.
no, you would do negative 10 plus that divided by 6, and then negative 10 minus that divided by 6. All right, go ahead. It's A, and then that leaves you with 3 plus B, and that leaves you with 3 plus B, so your final two factors are... Very good. Are we done with this problem?
Yes.
Yes, we're done. Any questions?
Oh, butchered it.
Guys, what does it say? It says factor by grouping. You may need to take out a GCF first, okay? I will take off points if you do not first factor out your GCF, okay? Now look on number 29. What is there a GCF?
Yeah.
All right, what is, you said, number 29? Three. 3 is the GCF on number 29, so we're going to go ahead and factor out the GCF, which is 3, and that leaves us with x squared minus 2xy plus xm minus 2ym. Okay, any questions?
Would that be the answer?
That is not the answer. We're not near the answer, actually. So, wait, Nick, all we did was factor out the GCF. What?
Why you just saying grouping?
Because it tells you in the directions that you need to factor out the GCF first.
You can like just factor it out by doing 3 on both of them.
Okay. Please, I'm giving you instructions. The instructions are always to factor out the GCF first. If you choose not to factor out the GCF first, you will be penalized. Is that clear?
No, I'm saying you don't still divide it by 3.
When I said penalized, I meant like I'm going to take points off your test, okay? But you're not listening to what I'm saying, so do what you want to do, but if you don't factor out your GCF first, I will take off points. Is that clear? Okay, so then 3 times x is our GCF of these first two terms. We're factoring by grouping now. Okay, so then we have the 3 times x plus m times x minus 2y. Okay, now if you factored it out using grouping, you wouldn't have that 3 in front, and that's how I'm going to know that you didn't factor out your GCF out first, and that's when points will be taken off. Is that clear? Okay? So always factor out your GCF. Like, let's just not make this an issue and just go ahead and do it. If you just factor out your GCF, and since we've obviously talked about it so much, you couldn't possibly forget to factor out your GCF first, right? Are there any questions here on number 29? I think number 24, what's the GCF there? It's 2. 2x squared y. Good. And that leaves you with 2x y to the 4th plus 3x squared plus y squared? Is that what you guys got? And all we did is we factored out our GCF, which is 2x squared y, and then we divided each term by 2x squared y. James, what we were left with is what was in parentheses. Is that clear? All right. All right, this is our favorite part, trinomial method, right? So, and guess what it says? Guess what it says? Look for a GCF first, okay? So on number 31, do we have a GCF? No, but we can use the trinomial method, which means we want to find two numbers that multiply to give us a product of, and add to give us a sum of 7. Okay, we call this a Ma table. Oh, did everybody have did everybody enjoy your Ma's Day yesterday? You're so sweet. That's a lot. So we have 3x. Oh, what are those two numbers? What are the two numbers that multiply to give us a product of 6 and add to give us a sum of 7? 2 and 3. I tried that. That's not going to work, though. 6 and 1? Well, let's try it. So now we factor this by grouping. I don't, oh, you're right. That's supposed to be 2. I don't know where I got the 7. Thank you.
Shouldn't it just be a 3 at the beginning, not 3x? Oh, wait.
All right, how many people kind of want to set these equal to 0 and solve? Okay, thank you for your honesty. Please don't do it. If it says factor, you only want to factor and you got to stop at factoring. You only want to solve if it says solve and has an equal sign, okay? So if you solve this, points will be taken off. Is that clear? I need us just to...
Very clear.
Cool, thanks. Thank you for listening. I need you to know that this green is as far as we go. And we're done. Excuse me, I'm ready to move on to the next problem, which is number 35. On number 35, is there GCF?
2.
2.
Can we do number 30?
Sure. On number 36, is there GCF?
No.
There isn't any.
Okay, so we want to find two numbers that multiply to give us
36.
negative 36, right? And add to give us 16. Very good. What are those two numbers? I know.
Oh, 18 and negative 2.
Cool. You're right. What?
Damn.
4 times 9. So 18 times negative 2 is negative 36. And what is 18 plus negative 2? 16? Good. So we're going to bring our first term down, 4x squared. Remember, all we're doing when we are factoring by the trinomial method is we're rewriting it in 4 terms so that we can factor by grouping. Now, how do we rewrite 16xy? As 18xy minus 2xy. Do you see that? Did you have a question? Go ahead, ask your question. Go ahead.
That would be me.
No, I want to answer it. I just didn't hear it.
Oh, I didn't ask you.
Okay. Do y'all see what we're doing here? Now that we have 4 terms, we can factor this by grouping, right? What's the GCF here? What are you ladies talking about? So our final two factors are 2x minus 1y times 2x plus 9y. And we are done. Questions? Does this ring a bell? Yes, ma'am.
On one of those, you put a minus 9y when it's supposed to be a plus sign.
Thank you so much. You're so right.
Oh, no.
Thank you for finding that mistake.
You're welcome.
All right, any questions here? Okay. Ooh, you guys remember these guys?
Yeah.
How do we factor these?
9x plus 11, 9x minus 11.
Okay, what about number 38?
5x.
Ooh, that 5. What happened to that 5? My goodness. That was
5x.
embarrassing. 5x plus 1 times 5x minus 1. Okay, all right, guys, are you cool with this? This next part, all you're doing is you're doing the same thing. It just wants you to, like,
We only go through
Oh, you're right. Okay. I do want to go 147 through 158. I want to look at these graphs really fast. Do you guys remember how to write the equation of a line?
No.
All right, it's y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. On this problem, what's our slope?
0, 3.
All right, we go 0, 3 would be the y-intercept, or just 3 is the y-intercept, but our slope is up 1 over 2. Slope is rise over run, so that's y is equal to 1/2 x plus 3. Any questions? Okay, this is a absolute value. Remember, that's in the form y is equal to a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k, where hk is the vertex. Here, our vertex is -3, 0. So how could I write this?
X plus 3.
A is either 1 or -1. Since it's going up, A is 1. X minus -3, which actually be x plus 3, right? And then we don't need a plus 0, right? So we can just leave it like that. But if you wanted to write plus 0, you could. All right, so square root graphs, guys, these are like the same thing. It's just y is equal to a times the square root of x minus h plus k, okay? And what is our hk here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 4, right? 0 means we don't go left or right any. A 0 is what we plug in for h. So the equation would be y is equal to the square root of x minus 0 plus 4. But you don't have to have the minus 0 because minus 0 doesn't change anything. Does that make sense?
So you would just do y equals square root of x plus 4.
Yes. That would work. Okay? All right, I will let you guys do 150 on your own. You can do 151 on your own. You can do 152 on your own. On 153, I'm not going to do that for you, but what would A be here?
153.
Negative. So that just means it's y equals -1 times the absolute value, and then you can finish that. On 154, horizontal lines, is that x equals or y equals? Y equals, good. And vertical would be x equals, right? Parabola. Vertex form is, it's really the same thing as what we've been doing. Y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Okay, where hk is our vertex. So what's our vertex here? 0, -1, 2, 3, 4. So this is y is equal to 1 times x minus 0 squared minus 4. And you don't have to have minus 0. It can just be x squared. Now, what's different about 158? What is A on 158? Perfect. A is -1. And what is A on 157?
Negative.
-1. Yes, sir.
Can you do both?
Yeah. Let me look at it. All right. What is A on 155? -1. And remember, this is in the form y is equal to a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k. So all you have to know is A, and you have to know hk. You know hk, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and k would be? Okay? Good.
What'd you say, Kate?
What do you think k is? What are the coordinates of the vertex here, Ibrahim?
I'm talking about 157.
157. What are the coordinates?
-1.
This right here, we're talking about this point, right? So the hk here would be 2, 0, right? Any questions here? What'd you say? Excuse me. Do you want to say that again?
Yeah, you told me no.
Okay, so let's All right, let's look up here. There might be some questions on your quiz. Oh, look at 117. This 6 shouldn't be here. Make it go away. It's a typo.
I think it's all done for problem.
What'd you say? No, it's actually not done for you because even if you did the problem, that would be wrong. So just make the 6 go away. And the problem, yeah, just make it go away.
Oh, it's all hypotenuse.
All right, do y'all remember how to do trig? Because you might have a question on your quiz. Excuse me, tomorrow with trig on it. Yep, we can do 130. Let me go look at 130.
What's tomorrow?
So the matrices are gonna be on this one?
All right, this is where we break this up, guys, okay? So look at 130.
Perimeter, you just add it all up.
If we break this up here into 2 separate rectangles, what is this length right here now?
8.
If this whole distance here is 18, right?
4.
And if this portion of it is 6, then what's left for the orange? Do you see how we got 12? Okay, if from here to here is 18, and then this blue portion is 6, then what is the orange portion? It's just whatever's not 6, right? So 18 minus 6 gives us 12. Now to find the area, we do 12 times 8, and what does that give us?
No, 84. No.
You want to double check?
What he said.
96. Then to find this area, we multiply 11 times 6, and that gives us 66. Now, the area of this whole figure is the sum of those two areas, which is 162 or 162 feet squared. Any questions here? All right, now to find the perimeter, what we do is we add up all the sides, but we're missing one side length, this side length. But do we know what this is? We already found it right here is 12. So we just add all of these side lengths, so that would give us 20, 30, 40, 4, 5, 55. What'd you get? Yep, when you added them all up, what'd you get? You would add up 6 plus 11 plus 18 plus 8 plus 12.
61.
I got 88.
Did you add up 6 plus 11 plus 18 plus 8 plus 12?
You don't need 12 twice?
You don't need 12 twice because this is 18. What did you get, Antoine? Which side? The 11? This side? By this blue? Oh, this side. Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, you're so right. I'm so sorry. We missed this side. What is this length?
2.
How did you get 2?
3.
3, because 11 minus 8 is 3, right? So it would be, was that 58? Is that what everybody got? 58 feet. Okay. Let me erase this and kind of re-talk you through it then if we're struggling with this. Okay, we need 2 more side lengths, right? Guys, if you're struggling, please pay attention. We know that from here to here is 18, and we know that this is 6, which means that leaves us 12 here. Now, if we're looking this way, we need to find out what this red is, correct? We know this from here to here is 8, and this whole thing is 11, so 11 minus 8 gives us 3. Then when we add 6 plus 11 plus 18 plus 8 plus 12 plus 3, we got 58 feet. Your homework is to finish 1 through 39 and 147 through 158.